Hello, this is Matthew Robert Payne. This is a video called Visiting Freddie Mercury in Heaven. And as I got my drink today, I've seen an image of a piano bar. It's very similar to King David's piano bar that I saw for the interview with King David. It actually looks like the same house, but it's just similar setup. So there's a piano and about 100 seats in a room, and on the left-hand corner is a coffee station and sweets and desserts, and there's a bar there, and people go up to the bar and get a drink and sit down with their sweets and desserts and listen to the music. And Freddie Mercury does intimate concerts here at his house, and they must apply to come and see him here. It's not the biggest of venues, and I'm sure Freddie Mercury performs in bigger venues in heaven, but these are a super sort of fan who come to his house. He takes requests here when he plays here. He asks on the microphone, is there any requests? And people shout out requests for his songs. Yeah, so this is one of his rooms. King David's piano bar will expand to 100 pianos, but Freddie Mercury's doesn't. And so it's got about 50 tables seating about 100 people, and it's very intimate. There's candles on each of the tables, and it's a dim lighting, and it's just a really nice bar. There's a picture of Jesus feeding the 5,000 on one of the walls, and I guess Eddie will tell us the reason for that picture, for that painting, when he speaks. So, Eddie, what are you doing in heaven? So I'm a singer in heaven, Matthew, not like Elvis. I'm not a writer, and like Michael, I don't look after little children. I merely write songs and perform. I enjoyed my life, most of my life. It was sad towards the end of my life, but I did enjoy performing when I was on earth. I didn't have to go through too much of a transition in heaven to get my groove back, to get in the saddle and write songs. I enjoy writing songs in heaven. I have to explain that there were millions of people, millions of Christians in the world praying for my salvation. And during the time I had cancer, I went unconscious towards the end. And I had a vision of Jesus, and Jesus asked me if I want to accept him to be my savior. And I always assumed that Jesus didn't like gays, and I was overjoyed to say yes to him. But no one really knows about my salvation, and I was overjoyed to come to heaven, and heaven is just such a wonderful place. So I've really come to really love Jesus. He's more than a friend to me. He's more than I ever had as a lover. He knows me at such deep levels, and I'm constantly discovering more in myself, seeing parts of myself that I didn't know exist, and he's discovering those parts in me. And so I've been able to write about that journey of self-discovery in my music, and people have related. It's a common theme here in heaven, people coming to understand themselves like they've never understood themselves before. And so in my contemporary songs, I write about that journey. I write about my journey to seeing myself and discovering more of myself, discovering my faith. And there's no pressure in heaven to conform, to be anyone different to yourself. You're quite able to be yourself and behave as you naturally behave. And I enjoy writing all sorts of songs in heaven. I write the full expression of songs. I like to write my songs alone. I don't work with many collaborations. I tend to write myself, have my feel for the writing. I don't re-enter my songs in the competition with a 20% adjustment to the song. People in heaven know they're welcome to comment on my songs, but I don't suggest collaborative changes being suggested for my songs. I'm happy to produce them and let them go in the competition the way that they are, and I'm happy with the results that I get. I'm really happy. It's like my life was rescued. It's just a whole new feeling, a whole new way of living, being being part of the creation, being part of something that God created. I knew I had gifts and I had talents and I had skills and I was successful in Queen. But being born again, being a child of God is a remarkable change, and it's something that I dearly love. And yeah, so next question. What do you like about heaven? So I like even though I'm repeating other people, I like the freedom to be myself. I found out that there's a greater way of expressing myself than sexually. I found out that there's a greater love that two men can have apart from a gay relationship. I found out that love runs deeper than sex. I found out that God is really greater than our pain and our hurts. And I've gone through years of counseling, therapeutic sort of work on myself. I enjoy the attention that heaven gives you as an individual and helps you become who you're meant to be. And I did all right. I did all right as the lead singer of Queen. I did all right recording songs and were quite popular. And but I can't compare the life I had on earth to the life I live now. There's no comparison. There is a comparison. One's just really poor. I don't travel with a band in heaven. I play keyboards and I play piano on stage, and I use the drum machine on the keyboard. I don't have a particular band. I can perform with a band backing me up, but I don't have a particular band that I use. I miss the Queen. I miss the band. If you could understand that you could miss things on earth, I miss the friendship of my band members. I don't miss the grueling schedules and the tours. I love to perform in my piano bar at home. People who win competitions in heaven get to be in my audience. So heaven has all sorts of competitions, and one of the prizes is to come and have an intimate night with Freddie Mercury, and they get that, and I sing songs, and I go have a meal with them, and sit down with each of the people and have a conversation with them, and make it a really good night, and take selfies with them, and it's an outstanding night for all involved. And I do that a couple of nights a week in Earth time, and people really appreciate that. I have concerts a couple of nights a week with many thousands of people in the concert, and like it was said by one of the artists, you can meet your fans for 2 hours, but it'd be 2 weeks worth of time. And I have meet and greets. I really love that about heaven, how time can expand. Jesus can be with you for an hour, but be with you for a week. And you can spend a lot of quality time with Jesus. I like that about heaven. I like spending time with Jesus. Jesus really digs me up and shows me facets of myself that are amazing. He'll go back in time, and he'll speak to me about one of my songs and where the idea from the song came from. Show me images in my childhood and emotions as I was growing up, and show me the places where I got the thoughts for the lyrics in the song. I like Jesus' attention to detail. He's got a spirit of excellence, and he really helps with my music, and gives me recommendations. He's the only one that I accept coaching for my music from, to be coached by the master. And I've collaborated a number of songs with Jesus himself, where Jesus doesn't take credit for it, but I and he knows that he had something to do with the melody, or had something to do with the chord structure. Yeah. Heaven is a wonderful place because Jesus exists, and he makes everything worthwhile. The saints have talked about it, but I want to stress that a life in heaven where there's no demands on money just makes things so much better. When you lived in a world full of money and demands, and had stress on you for finances, and everything cost money, and everything was about money. Life in heaven is just so great. I can just relax and study, or study the word, go to Bible college, or release an album, do whatever I choose to do without any concerns for income and how am I going to support myself. Everything's paid for in heaven, and everything is supplied free of charge. And so many artists would give their records for free on earth if they just had a good lifestyle, if they were promised a good lifestyle with no stress. They'd give their albums for free, and they'd do concerts for free. But no one promises that. No one gives you a life free of stress. And so there's constant stress. So I really enjoy the freedom of heaven, the freedom of living without that monetary stress gnawing on you. And I very much enjoy the feedback that I get from fans on my music. We have a database where people can write in and download your music and write responses and write feedback on your songs. And some people use the database to make structural changes to their music, but I don't use it for that. But the fans can write in and write comments on your music, and one of my favorite pastimes is just to sit back with a coffee and read fans' opinions of my songs. And because I've been living on a journey of discovering myself, I find that my lyrics are really touching people deeply who are also on the same journey of finding themselves. And so their comments and their feedback is really meaningful because it touches me. It touches me that I touch them and they touch me back. Sometimes a fan's comments resolves in me writing another song to that fan. And I'll dedicate the song to the fan's full name, and I'll know when the song comes out that it was written for them. And I do a lot of songs like that from feedback from fans. I get my inspiration for another song. It's really it's a really loving environment in heaven. What I like about heaven is people are constantly building each other up instead of the dog-eat-dog world where people tear each other down to get to the top. Heaven is the opposite, where everybody builds each other up and says nice things about each other, and there's no gossip or slander or evil. And I really enjoy that. I really enjoy having the opportunity to speak to people of Earth through this book. What is your message for us? I want to give a message to all those people who are inclined to be gay. There's a greater way in celibacy. There's a greater way of living. in celibacy. I'm celibate in heaven. There's no sex in heaven. I'm totally fulfilled. I want to say that Jesus is the ultimate answer, and you'll find grace and fulfillment and love in his presence. And I want to share with people who are going after success to be real to yourself and to be honest, authentic with yourself. Don't wear a mask, or don't put on graces to impress people. And I know I'm repeating someone else, but it's important for people to see your authenticity. It's important for people to see the real you. And you may be scared. You may be scared to show the real you. You may think that the real you isn't worthy, and the real you is incomplete. Well, work on the real you. Work on that incomplete person that you are. Get therapy and work on what makes you incomplete or what makes you feel unworthy. Work on that. Don't wear a mask, and don't put on a face to make to impress people. I want to encourage you also to develop a two-way conversational relationship with Jesus. Develop the ability to hear Jesus speak. And if you develop the ability to hear Jesus speak, then it would be possible for you to speak to one of us saints and speak to one of us. You could approach a saint through Jesus and speak to them and hear their voice clearly, just as Matthew has practiced over many years to hear Jesus' voice, to hear it clearly, and now he has an ability to hear us saints. It didn't come overnight. So I encourage you to discipline yourself to learn how to hear Jesus speak and hear him speak back and forth. And it'll benefit you in years to come as you grow closer and closer to Jesus. There's nothing like speaking to Jesus face to face. There's nothing like speaking to Jesus back and forth. And you can do that from earth. Matthew has a wonderful relationship with Jesus, and that doesn't need to be the exception. That can be the rule, and that can be possible in your life. And I encourage you to listen up and learn how to hear Jesus speak. Matthew's got a book, How to Hear God Speak, or something like that. It's available on Amazon, and it goes into hearing the voice of God. So I encourage you to hear Jesus speak. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say today. If you enjoyed my interview, be sure to write a review on Amazon saying that you liked Freddie Mercury's interview. And when I read your review, I'll certainly pray for you. God bless.